us a little different look. Everybody else, I think, is in person. Do we have everybody, with the exception of?
Other than Councilman Pacelli, everybody's here.
So I'm going to do my best to make it through this meeting. Hopefully no technical glitches, as the members of the council and staff know, and just for the information of anyone that happens to be seated there or watching. I tested positive for COVID at the end of the week. In isolation. I feel pretty good. Minor symptoms, but if you see me go on mute here or jump off the video, if I get a coughing spell or need to jump up for a minute, that's why. So hopefully it's not too much of a distraction to anybody that's either in the council chamber or watching remotely as well. So we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll move into the public hearing. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. So with tonight being a public hearing night, entertain a motion to close the general business meeting, move into a public hearing on Patriot Overlook annexation petition.
I'll make a motion that we move from the regular meeting to the public hearing on proposed Patriot Overlook annexation, resolution number 40-20.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. So I might need a little bit of help here. I'm assuming that there's some folks in the room that have come to speak. So when it's your turn to speak, please kind of follow the directions of the staff that are there. We do have a microphone and a podium, which is important so that we can capture your comments for the record. And then your best to get to your point and state what your points are with So I think that somebody in there is keeping time. Again, we're a little bit disjointed, so I appreciate your assistance in working with us on that. So with that, do we have a speaker?
So we're ready to move into its comments. But before we go to the public, is there anybody here from the state or county who would like to
Steve,
address
I
the mayor
can
council?
see you. I'm not able to see anything past the podium, though. So,
Ryan, I was just saying, before we enter into public comment, we're going to see if there's anybody from the state or county who would like to address the mayor and council first. Is there anybody from state, county?
are we back connected?
Okay, I guess we can go into public. Forgive me for not being able to pronounce some of the names.
If we are
Kathy,
connected,
do you have the list, Ryan?
He's not muted.
I'm gonna drop my video for now. See if I can.
Is it Kathy Paskowitz?
I'm here.
Can you hear?
Paskowitz?
Yes.
Would you like to come to the podium? And
Okay.
You guys able to hear me?
Yes.
All right. I cut my video so that maybe it'll reduce the bandwidth need
Okay,
right now.
we can
So
hear
I'm able
you.
to hear folks to speak. So Steve, I can't see the room, but if you guys are able to.
Mayor, there's
call
someone up.
folks up.
There
Yeah,
is someone up to speak.
yeah, we're going to proceed with the public. Ms. Paskowitz, please.
Okay. I sent a letter in ahead of time, but I want to consolidate what I said in the letter to make it short and sweet. I'm not sure if many of you know me anymore, but I have been in town of Manchester for 51 years, and I was actually on Park Avenue for 43 years. So I was the chairperson of our Manchester Bicentennial Committee in 1976. We pulled the celebration together for all the surrounding towns as well. So I have invested I have a lot of history, and I've invested a lot of time in this town. And so now I'm finding out that the town has been approached to annex a 12.6 acre tract of land called Patriots Overlook. And I just want to make it clear, I'm not opposed to growth because I've lived here most of my life and I've seen growth. I've had Whispering Valley and all develop, but I am opposed to the annexation of this property because the builder now apparently wants to build 24 homes on this site instead of the original 12 that was proposed. He wants to annex that so they can rezone this. And I have to say this definitely will have an impact on the town, the environment, and all of our citizens that live here. An uncontrolled development, that's what I'm describing this as. An uncontrolled development impacts Manchester in a number of ways. Why I'm saying this is uncontrolled is because a few months back there was, you were approached about annexing Lippy property. Okay, I don't know where that stands right now, but you've got that on the roster. You've got this one added, and then down the hill from us, Burwager Stockyard, that's being developed. So fast growth like this is not healthy, and it's going to impact us. There's more air pollution, noise, light pollution, added stress on all of our community services, like the police, fire department, schools, trash pickup, road maintenance, sewage, and water treatment. Pardon?
2 minutes, ma'am. You have 2 minutes, and you're getting close to your end
Oh,
of
I
your
didn't,
time.
okay, well, let me just tell you,
I don't think you were explained that, so.
no, I was not.
Yes, okay.
That was not made clear to me.
I understand.
Okay. So I don't think we can continue consuming resources at the current levels because we'll have nothing for future generations. I have some questions, and these questions are very important. Has an impact assessment been done, and what were the results of that? I understand that any application for a subdivision grading permit or sediment control project on areas of 40,000 square feet or greater requires a forest conservation plan. Has this been done? What about the storm drainage runoff? And will the town be able to build and maintain the required additional infrastructure? And how this would affect my neighbors and all the other citizens of Manchester? And how this proposed development will affect the natural rhythms of the site, the habitat for the animals and birds that live there. I've been in touch with the DNR, and the person called me back today, and they're very interested in this, and also the Lippy property, because if there's any bog turtles or any other endangered or rare species, this has to be investigated. So I just would like to end by saying that sustainable development consists of a long-term integrated approach to developing a healthy community by balancing the economic, development, environmental, and all the social needs for the future. For these reasons, I'm opposed to this annexation of property that's being proposed. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hackett, you're on the list, but we'll give you an opportunity, Mr. Hackett, we'll give you an opportunity at the end.
Thank you.
Is it Mark and Jeff Powers?
They're with the,
Okay.
yeah.
Kathleen, begins with R. Kathleen? Kathleen? Would you like to come up to the podium? I'm sorry, I couldn't
I agree
make,
100% with what the lady just said. I've been up here 34 years, and my property is on the side of this Patriots overlook. I came up because I needed space, or wanted space, and now they're going to crowd us in. That's what it sounds like with the addition. I'm not for this at all. And also the erosion. We live on a hill now. And I have seen rain come down, just like a stream from Schoolhouse Road. So I have no more to add than what the first lady said, except it's too many houses. It just is. It just isn't right. And I thank you for listening.
Thank you.
thank you. Next, Keith, register.
Hello. My name's Keith Register. I oppose it also. I live at 2627 Manchester Road, which is one of the first homesteads in Manchester, built in 1894. My issue is that I'm constantly getting flooded from the runoff from Fort Schoolhouse Road and off the hill in that area. Since the last time it flooded, I basically gave up. I boarded up my kitchen, and I live in a certain section of the house now. My issue is really with my neighbors, who are actually down the hill from me, who in July of 2018, they were flooded and taken out, very similar to Ellicott City, what happened to them. I think the issue goes way beyond putting in these houses. It goes into all the way down Manchester Road and all the culverts that are along there that would be affected by rainwater. Because we have an issue right now with the problem that needs to be addressed. And with the additional housing, it just extends that issue. So a solution really needs to be made on that. The other thing is there is a lot of wildlife in that area right now. I rehabilitated a small screech owl that came from there. It was hit by a car. So I know there's a lot of thought that has to be taken into consideration with this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Stockton? Ruth? Yep. Would you like to speak? Oh, you just signed in. Okay. Michael Sensel? Would you like to speak? And again, my apologies if I'm mispronouncing names.
Is it okay if I sit back to my seat instead of leaving? Like, can I stay for the
Oh,
rest
yes,
of the meeting?
you can stay for the regular meeting, sure.
Thank you. So my name is Michael Sensel. I've been in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and I've been in front of the City Council several times. I had a very long speech, with some of the different things that I've already thought about. It's funny to look at this packet of information tonight. So there's information here I never seen before, which is disappointing, because I wish I would have seen it before. Because in turn, it makes me think I'm not necessarily sure exactly where I'm at now. And I have a lot of issues, but I'm not 100% sure because of kind of the changes that I see here. I think the biggest thing that I was disappointed in with Powers Homes is that when I stood in my backyard, they had said that there would only ever be 1 acre county lots behind me. So in my vision of living there for the rest of my life, I was going to have other wooded lots behind me. And from the way it looks now that if it is annexed, it's going to be open space, which is still those woodeds that are there, but I didn't see that before in the plans. If it's not annexed, then it's different. So it's different houses and different ways that it's built. So I still wanted to talk. I still appreciate coming here. I appreciate the entire process. I still wish Powers Homes would have been honest with me from the get-go. I'm still unsure of why the Planning and Zoning Committee voted to recommend this one and then not Lippy, so that seemed interesting to me. It's disappointing that there's new information, and I guess I can come back in another time and maybe try to talk at one of these meetings. Thank you. Sorry for being unclear.
Jim, last name begins with an H. Okay. Okay, Clark Schaeffer. Heidi Stoke?
Steph, that's me. I let my husband just speak. represent it a little bit better than you.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
We did bring some pictures. But I'm opposed, and we're opposed. His name, address?
Hi, my name is Tom Stone. I live at 2747 Manchester Road. And thank you, Town Council, for your service to our community. I live just outside Manchester, on the border almost of Manchester. But I have a property that adjoins, in a small section, actually. It hardly touches, but I have about 6 foot of actual contact with the proposed development. My main concern is the runoff and the quality of the runoff and how it's going to be managed. So my background is a volunteer, if you want to call that, or I'm a member of an organization called Maryland Ornithological Society, study of birds and preservation of wildlife habitat, and I've been involved with that organization since 1977. So therefore, on our property and throughout the state of Maryland, we do bird counts and things of that nature. And so I've done just a brief overview of some of the species we found on our property. And one is concerned, but it's not a protected species at this point. A spotted turtle is one of the ones we caught last year, July 22nd of 2020 it was. A red eft, which is kind of salamander, American toads, spotted salamanders, wood frogs, spring peepers, chorus frogs, great tree frogs, garter snakes, corn snakes, black snakes. Those species are not really uncommon, but some are. Barred owls, we talked about a little while ago, screech owls, barn owls, great horned owls, and we have a great habitat for meadow birds. There's 2 small ponds on our property. They're pretty much spring fed, but those little areas are great for wildlife to come through and have watering areas. There's some trees that are growing there, and the meadow that we have on the property as well. So my concern is salt from melting for the control of snow and ice. There's been a study done in Maryland that shows how harmful that is to egg development of amphibians and reptiles. I don't know about birds. My time's up.
Give your background in construction.
Okay, well, my time's up. My time's up.
He does construction, large construction, so he's got a extensive background.
Okay, thank you for your time. Appreciate that. Do you want to speak to him? No, I don't want to. I have to get up 3:30. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Can you tell me what the environmental group you're with? I didn't catch that from my notes.
I'm sorry.
The Maryland Ornithological Society?
Gotcha, thank you.
Somebody will
MLS.
be speaking from that area, so if you're willing to stay, if you'd like to stay for a few more minutes, people representing the development will.
Sure, thank you.
Is there anybody else from the public who would like to speak? Yeah, I have to say, I admire and respect you all for coming in here, and everybody who wrote letters, for taking time to stand up for what you believe. The manner, especially in the manner in which you did that, was very inspiring. So, please stay strong, and there'll be more opportunities. Mr. Hackett, if you like to come up.
Hi, Clark Schaeffer. I'm a lawyer representing the property owner. This, as you know, I know this is not the first time that you have considered this property, so I won't go into all the gory details, but I will say this. This property checks most of the planning boxes that need to be checked to consider an annexation, and favorably. One, it's in the priority growth area. It's always been in the future growth area. It's always been designated for residential. Now, we are asking for a rezoning that would allow additional density because we're asking to be on the water and sewer system. As you know, part of this property is already in the town, and we're asking for the property that's outside the town to be included, which, as I said, has always been sort of envisioned for this. The increase in density is relatively minor, but it is more houses than would be without water and sewer. One of the big benefits to this is that it creates a unified development that would all be in the town. And whether or not you annex this portion of the property, I can tell you that the town will provide services to these people, whether they're in the town and paying taxes or not. They will use your roads, they will use your recreational facilities, they will use your police department and fire. And however, the good news is the town will control these properties because they will be subject to your ordinances and regulations. It won't be a situation of my neighbor's doing X, Y, Z, and you say, well, sorry, you need to call the county. It won't be a situation where your snowplow will come up and see the no more town maintenance, and I don't know, I guess there'll have to be a turnaround area. So there are benefits to this. This is the first step in a long review process. The stormwater runoff, that will all be looked at. Now, I know people say, well, I don't care, that never worked before. Well, the modern requirements of stormwater management are much more stringent than they were when these prior developments were done, and people do experience runoff from roads and other developments that are catastrophic. The current regulations, which will be applied to this development, are not that way. They are very stringent, they're very expensive. That's why you're seeing houses that before were $250,000, $300,000 houses, they're now $450,000 or and above, because it just costs so much to develop these lands. Not perfect, it will be a residential development, but it is in an area that's planned for it. It is smart growth, and we believe that we can get through your system and the review system of stormwater management, adequate facilities. We're not asking for any exemptions from any of your rules. We're asking to be able to participate as a responsible, member and developer in your community. Thank you very much.
Anybody else?
Marty Hackett with CLSI, 439 East Main Street, representing the applicant. Obviously, we've been in here quite a bit over the years, and we've looked at this project. Years ago, it was looked at, it was in the county at that point in time, currently zoned R40. But as we looked at long-term maintenance of the roads and so on, that's when we talked and looked at planning the thing all in the town, instead of dealing again with two planning commissions through the development process. We'd have all the control within the town should it be annexed. The density, you'll notice the one plan years ago that was on well and septic was showing about 29 lots, which pretty much saturated the whole property. Now we're looking at about 36 lots, but most of them are on the uplands, which is in the actual town corporation today. There's also an additional piece of property that was added to this, which created a couple additional lots as well. So that's why the additional 7 lots from, if you will, where we're showing it. The county's approved the waiver of zoning for the annexation from R40 to R20. If you go in your R40 zone, if it didn't get changed, I think the R40 zone, the way it's set up, when I read it, it looked like it was more toward properties that would be on the outskirts of town that would not be served by public water and sewer, and it's intended to have this whole system go into the town's town system. We are going to have to go through, obviously, the entire, working with the planning commission to develop a plan that everybody is happy with. We're going to go through the process, forestry, stormwater, sediment control, very stringent review process. So water runoff is looked at very in depth. Again, our goal is, it's slated to get annexed. It's in the master plan, ultimately to be in the corporate limits. Therefore, we're, we're hoping for a favorable decision on the annexation and working with the town through the process. And again, we can do all the layouts, but, actually, none of this stuff has been submitted to the planning commission for review. That's got to go through that complete process, and, we got a long way to go from this point. Thank you.
Mr. Hackett, those 7 lots you just referred to, are they at the end of Broome Court?
No, not necessarily. The same amount of lots under there's about the same amount on that cul-de-sac, which is the extension of that existing roadway. The 7 lots are just, from a calculation, there's some additional acreage that Powers has now that they didn't have back then, to the tune of an extra acre or so, or 2.
But those are in town?
Yes.
So
that's
they're in
correct.
town, so they're going to go in whether there's annexation or not. Those lots, those will go in.
That's correct. And as we do just a single cul-de-sac back to what is now the county property, that would become in the town. Therefore, that whole road system would be in the town, under the town's control, instead of the end of it being in the county's control.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Is there anybody else who would like to address the mayor and council? All right, do we just now go ahead and go out of the public hearing? Yep. Okay, if somebody would like to make a motion to leave the public hearing and go back into the regular business meeting?
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing and return to our regular business meeting.
I'll second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Ayes have it. Okay, I guess next order of business would be the approval of the January 12th, 2021 minutes. We've all had a chance to take a look at that. Good night, everybody.
Excuse me, the council won't take this up later on their agenda tonight. They'll put it for another agenda.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
You're
They were
a
here, I
fixture-
guess,
You're a fixture
specifically.
here.
They're here specifically for the public hearing, so. So, guys, if anybody has a motion to approve the January 12th, 2021 minutes as submitted?
I'll make a motion, we approve the January 12th, 2021 minutes as submitted.
I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, ayes have it. Next, receipt of the January 2021 treasury report and the February 2021 check register.
Do you want us to do them separate?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we receive the January 2021 treasurer's report.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And then next, the February 2021 check register.
I'll make a motion, we receive the February 2021 check register.
I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, mayor's report, I don't really have anything other than, I wanted to mention that every year Mr. Coltrider comes to us for approval to spray. But I guess we have to make a motion and a second vote on that,
To give him permission.
to give him permission to come in and
Yes, that is per our,
spray for insects and weeds
per our code.
from March 15th to September 30th on rented property owned by Gary Lamont and Doug Harrell. And again, he's using the same kind of chemicals and sprays that he does annually.
I'll make a motion, we approve the, Mr. Kaltweiler's insect and chemical spray for this season. Is that fine?
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
I think we're still virtual, I keep raising my hand. Sorry.
Okay, town administrator report. Steve?
Okay, good evening, Mayor and Council. We'll go ahead and get started with the February 2021 administrative report. We have nothing happening at this time in regards to the opioid litigation or the Trout Unlimited project. The Manchester Valley High School electronic sign, I've been keeping you updated on that through emails. I did speak to Mr. Collender on February 16th in regards to the sign location. He did advise me that he would be approaching the school board and then coming to speak to the mayor and council possibly on April 13th. If I'm not mistaken, the last time that we had discussions with Mr. Collender, he was to supply us with drawings and location of the sign, correct?
I
Okay.
believe so, yes.
Yes, very good. All right. Under the AT&T Mobility Lease Agreement, we received a response back from our correspondence from January 26th. Our town attorney is in the process of setting up a call to discuss with AT&T in regards to our request. The 3215 Long Lane property, that property is on the market and has been listed through eXp Realty. We also have to, as soon as possible, I know we've been very busy, we need to schedule in our personnel policy update meeting. So, I mean, we've really been busy with the budget, and we have to concentrate on the budget, but we can't let that fall to the wayside. I have two additions that I would like to add to my report. The Main Street tree trimming. I talked to Bartlett Tree today, and due to the weather, they had to reschedule our work, and this is to be done on March 25th and 26th. So that will be taken care of. Also, I want to bring to the mayor and council's attention, we received correspondence from the county planning department that the county may want to start charging the municipalities for a spring and fall amendment to the county water and sewer master plan, as well as any type of annexation charge that would be associated to that. A few of us, when I say us, a few of the town managers discussed this, and I really believe this goes against our town-county memorandum of understanding or our town and county agreement. So I will have more information back once I learn and acquire more information, but I just wanted to get that to your attention so you understood that. So, moving right along, under code enforcement, you have in front of you the monthly code enforcement update. Under some miscellaneous items, the tipping fees on recycling started in January, and that's $30 per ton tipping fee on recycling. And staff is continuing to work on our fiscal year 22 budget, and we are looking into the current fee structure. This is kind of double-edged sword here. I just want to shout out congratulations to Tom Devilbliss. Tom is Director of Land and Resource Management for Carroll County. As of March 26, Tom will be retiring. He has 35-plus years in with the county, and he was an asset to Carroll County and its municipalities. Currently, Chris Hine will be assuming the position of Acting Director of Land and Resource Management. So again, congratulations to Tom. COVID-19 update, vaccinations. This coming Friday, March 12th, 8 of our essential employees will be receiving their first round of vaccine. This will bring the total number of our employees vaccinated to 14 of 24. Again, the town's not mandating that our employees get the vaccination, but we are simply assisting them to get the vaccine. In closing with this report, and then I'll move right into Public Works. Of course, as we all know, we've been into this for a year, and I want to personally thank all of our employees for their vigilance, awareness, and safety precautions over the last year, and of course, this will continue into the future. So that's it for the administrative report. Any questions for me?
Any questions? I don't have a question, but I can't echo that enough, your last comment. I think this town staff did a phenomenal job under challenging conditions.
Yeah, I was the most hated person there for a while, but knock on wood, but to be very honest with you, I'm so glad that our people are getting their vaccines, and
Good.
That means a lot, especially our essential workers. So.
Steve, before you continue, I want to apologize to Mayor Warner. I saw the screen going in and out, and I didn't realize that he had something he wanted to add. Ron, I apologize. I saw the screen going, and you looked like you were kind of fading a little bit. I hope you're feeling okay.
be up above your guys' head, like, coughing, like it could spread that way, but, so I'm gonna, if you guys are comfortable just continuing to roll, I just had a couple of things to add from the mayor's report, that I did not hear, and that's, and maybe Steve covered them, so apologies if he did, but we're moving the yard waste from Friday to Wednesday. I don't know that I have a date on that yet, but that's, likely starting pretty soon. That's at the request of Hughes. This Thursday, MML Carroll County chapter is virtual. If anybody in here would like to attend that on a virtual basis, I can connect you with that information. And then the MML annual convention, it's kind of chopped up. They're planning on doing a shortened in-person piece, June 27th to 29th, with a capacity right now of 2 officials per town. So if anybody is interested, speak up. We do have to register. It's kind of a use it or lose it thing. We'll have to register those folks pretty soon to save those spots. There's also going to be a follow-up, a virtual component, and then a follow-up, virtual piece on that. So I don't know that all the structure is built around that at this point, but so more to come. But if you're interested in either one of those, then we'll get you signed up. That's all I had. I think we may be up to Public Works.
Well, I guess to add to that, so did you mention that the deadline to file for office, Monday, April 5th?
Get closer to the mic.
The town of Manchester will hold an election on Tuesday, May 18th, 2021. 3 council members will be elected. The term of the office is 4 years. Flyers are available on the table in the back of the room. And you did mention yard waste, right?
April
Yes.
7th.
You mentioned yard waste, brush pickup, bulk trash. Office will be closed on April 2nd.
I'm sorry, did we have a date for bulk trash and yard waste? The big pickup?
Ryan said he didn't have a date
So
yet.
April, let me look at my phone.
You have some
Say
dates on here, right?
20th?
It's a weekly yard waste pickup. That used to be on Fridays, is now on Wednesdays.
Right, so yard waste pickup begins on Wednesday, April 7th.
Correct.
Will continue to be picked up on Wednesdays through November.
Mhm.
And did Ryan mention brush pickup April 20th?
Yep.
Bulk trash pickup April 21st.
Yep.
Office closed. Charlotte B. Collette Memorial Scholarship due May 1st.
Mhm.
Okay. Good. I think it was it. And sorry again, Ryan Beth, I apologize because I'm just rolling along.
Okay,
I was on mute again. I appreciate the help. So yeah, I'm starting to cough a little bit, so I'm going to stay on mute here so I'm not disruptive to the meeting.
Okay, I'll go ahead and give the February 2021 Public Works Report. You have in front of you the monthly and water and wastewater data report for February. We had 5 snow events for February. And of course, DPW and all of our employees continue to work in a safe manner during the pandemic. Public Works is also, refining our fiscal year 22 budget. Under water, the Walnut Street Well Spring House, we're about 90% complete on the electric. And the Park Avenue Water Tower Rehab Project, they had an on-site pre-construction meeting on February 26th. This project is to begin Friday, March 26th, and the completion deadline this is just a deadline, is June 30th. Under wastewater, there's been no change in regards to the ENR upgrade, and the final report for the preliminary engineering report will be completed sometime this spring. The wastewater treatment plant effluent, that went from stream discharge to spray irrigation on March 1st with no issues. And under the UV disinfection system upgrade, that is an action item that I will bring up a little after I'm done this report. Under parks, maintenance, and facilities, the Route 27 Manchester sign, Welcome to Manchester sign, was repaired by town staff. That was hit one morning when it was black ice, and they slid into it, so that was taken care of. And Rodney wants to thank the snow and ice removal crew for a fine job. And, of course, the action item is the second phase of the ultraviolet disinfection upgrade. So I can move right into that. So you have in front of you a bid tab for the second phase of the ultraviolet light disinfection system. We received 3 bids, Swam Electric, Iron Brook, and Microtech, and it is staff's recommendation to go with Swam Electric to rebuild the actual unit that controls the lamps for $34,741. If you recall, the first phase was to take care of replacing the lamps and new racks and everything, and that was $28,372. So currently, we had $75,000 budgeted for that, so this comes, in well below the $75,000 that was budgeted. So again, staff recommends going with Swam Electric for $34,741.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion, we go with the staff recommendation to award the ultraviolet light system upgrade project Phase 2 with 2 controls cabinet refurbishment to Swam Electric in the amount of $34,741.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Approved.
Any questions in regards to Public Works? Yes,
Get a mic,
yes.
get a mic.
Absolutely incredible for a job that the town does with snow removal. I live really close to the intersection of Park Avenue and Burt Fowler, where county and town merge. And you go out and the town is totally clear, and the county road is totally covered.
Yeah.
I'm just always impressed every time it snows.
Our folks take pride in their work. They always have. I will definitely pass that on to our crews. There for a while, our crews were running on about 72 hours with no sleep, and that was that long duration ice, snow, ice. But they do a fantastic job. We have a good staff, good crew, good staff. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
All right, next up, the police report. Chief Hess was unable to make it this evening. Did he lead something with you, or?
He did. Would you like to do it, or you want me to do it? It's up to you, Jim.
If you don't mind, I would appreciate it.
Sure. Mayor and council members, for the month of February, your police handled 120 events. These included citizens' calls, dispatch calls, on-view incidents, etc., and 22 of the calls for service were assisting Hampstead or the Sheriff's Department. The police department investigated 2 Part 1 crimes. Both involved theft of Adirondack chairs, specifically red in color. We have a suspect vehicle that we are working on, and Hampstead experienced similar incidents involving porch chairs and a bench. During this period, we have arrested or criminally charged 5 persons, 1 for 2 open warrants for failing to register as a sex offender, 2 for traffic-related offenses, 1 for domestic assault, 1 for drug possession with intent to distribute heroin, and this happened on the Sheets parking lot. The police department's traffic enforcement continues, and we have issued 16 citations and 118 warnings. Overdoses. The total number of overdoses year to date is 89, having 47 in February. The total number of overdose fatalities has increased to 15 year to date. This is countywide. The towns which are not covered by Carroll County Sheriff's Office or MSP account for the following: Manchester, 0, Hampstead, 5, Sykesville, 1, Tawnytown, 8, Mount Airy, 1, and Westminster, 33. This is a special note also. Countywide, there has been a reported 500% increase in drug-related attempted suicide when compared to last year. That's it.
Thank you, Steve. My reading glasses weren't doing good in that light print.
I know, and my glasses are steaming up
Yeah.
also, and I need my glasses.
All right, I guess I jumped the gun earlier because we already covered spraying request by Mr. Kaltreiter. Any comments or questions from the community? You're our community representative this
Well.
evening.
called this morning, I'm very happy to hear that you have an in-person meeting.
Yeah. All right, committee reports.
I don't
Councilwoman
have
Smith?
anything. There's a meeting this week. I don't have anything yet.
Okay. Councilwoman Miller?
All right, this Thursday, I'm planning on attending the quarterly MML virtually. So I have the link. I'll join for the town. That keeps us on track for Banner City. I'm also planning on attending the virtual portion of the summer conference for MML. I'm not able to attend the in-person, but I am planning on doing the summer one. One thing that they're doing this year, because of the, I guess you would call it like a hybrid format of MML, is they're offering, what they typically have is the parade of flags, the parade of the towns, where each town brings their flag and parades around and, shows off their flags. And they've done something different. They're offering something this year differently, where they're inviting towns to do a parade of their town, which is basically like a 30-ish second infomercial kind of thing. Just to get to know our town, see what we have to offer kind of thing. So I didn't know if that's something we would want to throw out on our social media, see if people would submit photos that we can compile into just, here's some great things about our town kind of thing as an option.
If I can give a suggestion,
Sure.
I can't remember the young lady,
Olivia.
Gary. Yes, Olivia Gary may have
She had
some
something like that.
information in regards to video of the town. So that would be guys.
That's fantastic. I forgot till you said that.
Yes. So that might be a plus. She may have a lot of that
She
work
probably
done.
already has it,
So
yeah.
perfect.
Okay, awesome.
I think that's a good idea.
I think it is too, even when they go back to an in-person. It gives you a chance to see some different things that the different towns have to offer. And that's due, I believe, like April 15th or 16th, or somewhere mid-April. I have it on my calendar.
Okay. Good. Is that it?
Yes, that's it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Councilman Pacelli is not here this evening, so if he didn't leave a report, we can catch back up with him at our next meeting, or did he leave anything with you? Okay, we'll catch up with him next meeting. Councilwoman Hill?
We didn't have a meeting last night, so I have nothing to report.
All right, and planning and zoning is me. We do not have our meeting next week. Some of the projects that are pending are kind of slow moving, so I'll keep everybody posted. Did anybody receive anything from Trent?
I did. I'll read it if you want.
Okay, please.
Okay. So Trent was unable to attend with returning to a in-person format. He's got a lot on his plate. He's getting ready to graduate. He's just a very, very busy young man. So he did submit some notes for us to share. Last week concluded the first half of the third quarter. You can tell he's counting down. Each week, a few more students seem to be returning to the school in person. The high school will be returning, I believe, the 22nd, 4 days a week. They'll have the option of 4 days a week in person or 100% virtual. He has not received any updates as to whether the grades seem to be improving, and I think that's going to come with time. Fall sports have begun. The first football game was last Friday. First field hockey game was last night. And the first soccer and volleyball games are tonight. So hopefully the girls did. Okay. Cross country and golf have also begun, and cross country just had their first double win. Both varsity teams had a runner win first place. Ruby Gaffina and Aiden Neal. Spring sports are scheduled to begin on April 17th. The drama department has many activities like the Maverick Musical Adventure, which is a substitution for their spring musical that they normally do. And the next round of senior-directed one-act plays has begun auditioning for parts. Community-based activities, clubs like the FFA, Book Club, Gender Sexuality Alliance, Black Student Union, and Fishing Club are continuing to meet. Many of the previously mentioned groups are meeting with students from other schools to talk about discrimination in the schools and country as a whole. This month there are raffle baskets each day for winners by tickets, 4 weeks. Each week is funded by one of the classes. So it looks like the freshman class took a week, sophomore class, junior, seniors, etc. There are sign-ups now for the Maryland Youth Leadership Forum for students with disabilities. And according to Trent's records, there are about 68 days left for students, for most students, and about 55 days left for him as a senior.
Jen, you did a fine job, but it's nothing like when Trent
I know, I
reads
just
it.
don't have his,
Something about when
I
he
don't.
reads his,
I don't have that bubble.
something about him.
Mr. Mayor, I wish you a very speedy recovery. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we adjourn?
He's on mute.
I'm on mute. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. You guys, all stay safe. That's all I had for tonight. Hopefully, you know, everybody's healthy. We can get together this budget meeting in a couple weeks.
Okay, very good. Well, if there's no other business, no other comments, then I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Good night, everybody.